So good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday. So I like to call it Mindset Monday. For those of you guys who may be new to me, my name is Kenesha Berry. I am a mindset coach. What I do is I help my clients shift their way of thinking, moving in life, so that they can begin to enjoy, feel fulfilled, create the kind of life they really want. See, oftentimes we are a victim to our thinking, and we are moving through life without thinking about what we're thinking about. And perhaps you're the woman on the other side of this camera who has been in her feelings and she's feeling lost and stuck. And maybe you have to go to a job every day where, if you're real honest with yourself, there's no pleasure or joy in the work that you're doing. Perhaps you're feeling lost and unfulfilled, and as if there has to be, like, you may be thinking, there has to be something better than this. I want you to know that there is. And I know how you feel because I remember the times in my life where I felt that way. I remember being the mom, particularly like that time of my life when the children were a little younger. Uh, I think they were at that time when I was going through this really tough emotional time. My children were probably about 6 and 8, or between the ages of 5 and 7, because they're 2 years apart. And I had to go to a job that I just didn't find any joy in. I was told that the position was one thing and it happened to be something else. But to have to go to work every single day to a job that, literally, I remember saying to my boss, I feel like I'm spiritually dying here. And I don't imagine that is the thing you're supposed to share with your boss. But at that time, I was so emotionally drained, felt so stuck. I thought maybe he will understand that my desire was to be more creative at this job, to be heard, to give more of all of my gifts and my talents here when they just wasn't being used. And so I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like when you're thinking, what's wrong? What's missing? Why isn't this working? And I will tell you, part of what's wrong is just simply maybe the way you're thinking, maybe the way you're experiencing life through the way you're processing life, what you're focusing on. And so this morning, I want to give you just three things to help you keep going, because I get it. You can't quit your job. Maybe it feels like you can't change and shift everything. Perhaps you're in the relationship or you desire a relationship and it feels like nothing is working. And it feels like it's completely out of your control. I want you to know that it is in your control. There are things you can do right now today to begin to shift yourself out of that feeling of being stuck to feeling what I'm now like thinking unstoppable. And I want you to pay attention to that because on May 16th, it's a Tuesday evening, I will be offering a free masterclass on moving from being stuck to unstoppable. But today I want to just share with you three things because I want you to keep going. I don't want you to give up. I want you to not just keep going, but keep going with some hope, some peace, and some joy along the way. And so today, with the first thing I want to encourage you to do is, as you're hanging in there, change your mind. Like, just shift what you're thinking about. First and foremost, I want you to see and think about what it is you're thinking about. Experience for yourself, what are you focusing on in your current situation? Are your thoughts telling you everything that's wrong with what's happening? How nothing goes your way? Um, how incredibly unfulfilled you feel? Like, where's your thoughts right now? And if you can just begin to shift your thinking by moving into a space where you realize that everything is happening to be a blessing to you, even the hard stuff, even the things that there is no way you would be thinking is a blessing. That's what God does. He uses everything, all things. So here's the thing I want you to do in order to shift. Instead of asking the question, why is this happening to me? Or the question, will it ever get better? I want you to ask the question, God, what would you have me to learn? Just that shift alone will begin to change everything. So the question again is, God, what would you have me to learn right now? Good morning, Derek. So if you can just shift your mind from whatever like is keeping you bogged down, feeling negative, feeling stuck, and just simply ask God the question, what will you have me to learn right now during this season of my life when everything may feel like it's not going well, when things feel out of control, when I don't feel happy, when I don't feel unfulfilled? Ask him, what will you have me to learn? And particularly if you're working that job, you're going to that 9 to 5 that you're not fond of, that you hate, or it's time for you to leave and you're not quite ready to move, ask God. Or you've tried to move and there's nothing changing. When nothing is moving and nothing is changing, it is because there's something God needs you to learn to go to the next level, place, idea, step in your life. So maybe it is a new job you need, but there's something on this current job that he knows you're going to need to open the door for that next job. Maybe it's starting that business and there's something right where you are that you need to acquire and really understand so that you can take that same gift, skill, system and apply it to your own business. Perhaps in your relationships, it feels like things aren't just getting better between you and your spouse or your partner, and you're thinking, what is going on? Ask him instead of focusing on your partner. What's wrong with them? Why they won't shift and change? Ask God, what will you have me to learn? So that the shift can happen. And I promise you, when you shift the mind to asking and noticing, there's something in me that needs to grow in this experience, then the shift will happen. The second thing I want you to encourage you to do during this time of maybe feeling sad, disconnected, unfulfilled, is I want you to pay attention to the new ideas and the desires that are dropped into your mind right now. So over the next few days, the next week, I want you to pay attention to what new thoughts are you getting? What new ideas? What inspiration are you feeling? What things are you thinking, oh, that's a great idea. Maybe I should try that. Because we have to remember that God is a God where he operates in seed form, meaning that he starts with something very small and then he grows it to something extremely large. You think about that in terms of trees and the way fruit is produced. He never produces just one apple on an apple tree, and the tree is full of apples. And so God gives you a seed. And for us, oftentimes the seed is just a thought, it's just an idea. What's happening with many of us, we don't value the thought. We don't value the idea. We think, well, that sounds interesting, but I don't know if I can do that. So the moment the new idea, thought, even inspiration or desire comes, because we're hardwired to negativity, we will begin to shift and talk ourselves out of doing this idea. So for right now, if you're in that place where it's too much, you're thinking, wow, that's a big audacious idea. That's a great idea. I know this thing has been successful for other people, but that would mean for me starting all over and starting from scratch. If all of those ideas are coming or thoughts are coming with the idea, I want you to just write the idea down and just make space for the idea. Like you don't understand the power of your mind when you sometimes just create space, quiet space in your mind for a new thought, a new idea, a new belief, a new desire. And you say, you know what? I don't know how I am going to start the business. I don't know where I'm going to get the money from to purchase the home or to purchase the course or the class. I don't know right now, but I'm going to believe that it's possible. That's what I mean when I say I'm going to just make space for it. And you just write it on a piece of paper, write it on a sticky, put it on a vision board. The Bible always says, write the vision, make it plain. Here's the thing. It says, and in its due time, you will see it. So you don't have to worry about oftentimes making a thing happen, but you do have to create space for it to happen. So if God is dropping for you a new idea, a new thought, a new belief, a new desire, write it down, make space for it so that you can move out of this emotion of feeling stuck, unfulfilled, sad, gloom, whatever that thing is. And then lastly, during this time of maybe feeling like things aren't going to change, feeling like life is overwhelming. I'm not happy. Things aren't going the way I want them to go. If you feel that way right now, here's my invitation to you. The last thing I encourage you to do to shift it, please don't complain. Don't complain about it. Find maybe that one person, coach, therapist, maybe a friend who knows how to create space for you, but not create more complaint for you, because you have some of those friends, you share your bad thing and then they share their bad thing, and now you all are just sitting in this whole nest of negativity. No, you want the friend who says, okay, I'm going to listen, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get it all off your chest, because you do need to get it out of your body. But once you do that, you want the friend, the person who says, now what, now what are you going to do? Now that you've gotten it out, you've been talking about this for a while. What is your plan? What are you going to do? What new thing are you going to change or shift to make this not the thing? But here's what I know. I remember hearing this quote and it just shook me. I think it's Bart Marley that said it, or Ziggy Marley, one of them. They said, complaints are like prayers to the devil. And if you're under the belief that every prayer is always answered, imagine that you are complaining about the job, the family, the children, the husband, the finances. You're just complaining about life. And so, therefore, all you're doing, the prayers are being answered. You're sending out a prayer. Nothing ever works for me. You're sending out a prayer. I don't have enough. You're sending out a prayer that this job sucks. You're sending out these prayers that my kids are a mess. You're sending out these prayers and your complaints. And so you get back what you asked for. And you're just requesting more of the same thing. So, yes, you may need to say it out your mouth from a confession place of expressing it to get it off your chest. But you need to say it with a, whew, now that I've expressed that, these are the next 3 things I'm going to do to make it better. I'm going to communicate more effectively. I'm going to create a plan for my finances. I'm going to create an exit strategy from this job. Whatever the thing is that you're really bothered by in life, all you need is a vision and a plan to shift it and to get out of it. And that's what I do. So if you're in that place where you're thinking, I wouldn't even know where to start with that, I help my clients do just that. I have helped women who said, you know what, I've had it with this job. I've been doing my side hustle for so long. I'm making money in it, but I know I could be making more if I left this full-time job. You know where we start? I never tell anyone, just quit your job and go for it. We start with the exit strategy. Come on, let's sit together and create an exit strategy. Is it 6 months? Is it a year? And then how are you going to move and shift out of it? If you're in a horrible marriage where you think, it can't change, it won't get better, all you need is an exit strategy, not out of necessarily the marriage, but out of the way you're doing marriage. When I tell you, my husband and I never divorced, but we shift our marriage. We went from being a marriage where we're like, I don't think this is going to make it, to a marriage where it's fun and joy and peace. So you can rewrite your story. You can renew your mind and shift everything just by the way you're thinking. So if you're interested in working with me, go to my website, berrythoughtfullife.com, Berry, Berry, thoughtfullife.com, and book a free consultation. Guys, what do you have to lose? 30 minutes to see if my program can help you shift and move out of a life of feeling stuck and unfulfilled to being able to know that within you is the very power to create the life you want. And I don't make this up. I promise you, my clients are doing it. I think about right now, I'm thinking about a few of my clients who, when they started with me, they thought that this can't happen for me, Kanisha. But by the end, they start saying, I'm now running my own business. I've now gotten married. My relationship is better than it ever was. I can't believe this is happening. I remember when we talked about me having these things, and now I actually have them, because all it is a mind shift. It is not because you need something great outside of yourself to happen. It's because inside of you, you need to make a shift or a change. And so, ladies, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't know if I quite need a coach, but perhaps I can use a getaway, I want you to go to my website, again, berrythoughtfullife.com, and check out the retreat that I have coming up on October 6th through the 9th. For ladies only. Sorry, guys, you can't come. But this is going to be a 3-night, 4-day getaway. And when I tell you, it's going to be amazing. We're going to absolutely help you with your mindset, but we're also going to pamper you while you're there. We got masseuse coming, makeup artists, photo shoots. This is going to be a retreat like no other. So I thank you for taking your time and watching. If this has blessed you at all, will you do me a favor? Will you share this with someone? Will you let people know about verythoughtfullife.com? And lastly, I just want you to remember this. Our thoughts create our decisions, and our decisions create our destiny. So I want you to make sure you know how to create the destiny you truly desire. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.